Tesla, Tesla, Tesla. Let's talk about it. So I've got a used 2019 Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus. That's a mouthful. I got this car used 2 years ago at around the 50,000 mile mark, so I'm still in warranty when I got it. Now this video is more so just to tell you about my experiences and my thoughts. If you're thinking about buying a used Tesla. So let's talk about the things that I really like about the car first. The first one being the app. You can unlock the front, you can unlock the trunk, you can unlock your car doors. If it's hot outside, you can cool the cabin down. If it's freezing outside, you can warm the cabin up. If you leave your apartment or you leave the grocery store and your car is a mile away, you can summon your car to you in the app using Actually Smart Summon. The acronym for that is literally ASS, but it's a really cool feature. In the app, it tells you how much you actually saved in gas. So over the past year, I think I've got this set up pretty well too, so my cost should be accurate. Between supercharging and charging from home, I've spent about $446, but I have saved about $948, and that is from charging at work and charging in any other places that I could find for free. So when it comes to charging the car, if you can't charge at home or at work, I would really reconsider getting the car. Supercharging is really expensive. It can add up quite a bit, almost to the cost of paying for gas, making that stop, waiting 30 to 40 minutes for your car to charge, then going home and burning off some of that energy. It makes resource management on your car a little bit of a pain in the ass. Driving the car is an absolute breeze. The car feels great. It's totally different than my Scion FRS that I had previously. It's not shifting gears or anything like that. It's a very smooth drive, and then those additional features like full self-driving and autopilot make it that much more enjoyable to drive for longer distances. So I'd argue this is the perfect road trip car and the perfect commuter car. I've got a morning commute of about 45 minutes to an hour depending on traffic, and it's not terrible because this car is really pleasant to just drive. Another really cool part about Tesla ownership is that because it's an EV, you don't have to worry about regular maintenance like you do with a gas car. You don't have to worry about regular oil changes. The only regular maintenance I've had recently was making sure that I had windshield wiper fluid. I also really love the design of this car. It's like really minimal. It's really like clean. There's one screen that you do everything on. So there's no buttons anywhere else. There's a couple of buttons here on the steering wheel. This is going to be volume. I forgot what this one was. I barely touch it. And then everything else is just right here on your screen. So you got your 3D model of your car. You can unlock the frunk, the trunk once it resets. Yeah, trunk, frunk. Lock your doors there. You got the chime, unlock your charge port. You've got all your settings right here. There's a new feature here where I can control the passenger seat from where I'm at. I can warm up my seat here. I can change my display settings, put it in dark mode, keep it in auto. Here you can change your autopilot settings. You can change your acceleration settings, your steering wheel weight, your stopping mode if you want it to hold, creep or roll. You can adjust regenerative braking. So all these things are controlled right through the screen, which is really nice. And then you've got your massive navigation app over here on the side. I go to navigate and I click work, bam, it's going to jump me all the way down to where I need to go, and then I'm on my way, and I can just reference this while I'm driving, so I'm not looking at like a small phone screen. Down here on the bottom, it's going to estimate how much energy you have when you arrive, and then it warns you about traffic jams very similarly to Waze or Apple Maps, which is really nice. So those are the best parts about the car. The biggest expense is going to be your tires, which no one warns you how fast electric vehicles blitz through tires, but they do. Electric cars have a lot of torque, specifically this one. This is rear-wheel drive, so it's going through tires a little more often than your gas cars are. Tires for the Model 3, specifically a good set of tires, are expensive, and I think that's true with most cars. Set of tires, I bought one in the last 2 years, paid about $1,200 for that. Other than that though, no other big expenses have come out of regular maintenance anyway. As far as mechanical issues go, luckily I've had one single problem. So no issues with my battery, no issues with much else except for my suspension. My suspension in the front and the back needed some work done. So let me go through my service history here and tell you exactly what that was. So I lied. So it wasn't just suspension. I also had to have my 12-volt battery in the front replaced. So my 12-volt lead acid battery, that replacement was about $112. And then the suspension issue that I had in the rear, Tesla states that it was a upper rear four-link that had to be replaced. That cost out of warranty was $767. And then my most recent expense, which was the most expensive, this was back in September of 24. This was my front lateral lower links. This was a remove and replace. This was $824. So as far as service goes, that's all I've had to spend fixing the car. Luckily, no issues with my battery, the big battery along the bottom of the car that actually gets it moving. And then here soon, I think I'm going to need more suspension work done in the front because it's making a weird noise when I turn a little bit. Something else I want to warn you about is its winter performance. So I live in a region where we experience all 4 seasons over here in beautiful Cincinnati, and my winter performance kind of blows. So I get about 215 miles on a nice day like this outside where it's, probably 60 degrees or so. My AC is used very minimally. Ideal conditions, 215 miles of range. When it was 5 degrees outside about 4 weeks ago, my range was probably around 140 because my heat was blasting, my tire pressure was a little lower, and the battery was so cold. My range seriously degraded in the winter, and that seems very, very common with any electric car. It's gotten better with more recent years of Tesla Model 3s because they've got a heat pump in there now, but with this generation of Model 3, this 2019, my winter performance kind of sucks. With the door handle too, it freezes shut, so you can't open the door except for in the app. Because the door handle is flush with the door and you have to push the fat part of the door handle to get it to come out so you can open the door. If it ices over, you can't really open the car door. That also kind of stinks. The last thing I want to warn you about that everyone seems to just completely gloss over is registration costs state to state with EVs in general, not just Tesla, any electric car. So I had to pay an additional $200 to renew my tags last year. And the BMV here in Ohio claims that that's because I'm not using fuel throughout the year. I'm not paying taxes on fuel. I still have to pay that tax that I normally would pay to help maintain county roads. I hear that fee is a lot more expensive in other states, and that Ohio has one of the lowest costs associated. So get ready for a big bill whenever you go to renew your registration. So that's about it when it comes to Tesla ownership anyway. If you're thinking about getting one of these cars, it's a really pleasant driving experience. You are going to have degraded performance when it's freezing cold outside. That's just the nature of electric cars. And yeah, the build quality on Tesla specifically could be better. The car looks great. It's a head turner, especially if there are not many people around you that have a Tesla. So you can weigh those pros and cons and decide if you want to get one of these yourself. I'll probably end up making more videos on this car in the future and more tech related stuff. So like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later.